So we've heard about the context, we've heard about the measurement tool. One of the things that I wanted to bring is the perspective that our role as a main contractor is not just about creating great buildings, but it's actually about building great places. And so thinking more broadly about how we achieve that. We want to understand the communities that we work in. We want to understand the wider needs and objectives of our customers. And then we can look at the impact that our work can achieve during that process. As has already been said, we want to think about this across the triple bottom line in terms of social, economic and environmental impact. And I'm going to think about how we do that from a social perspective today, so that we're thinking more broadly about what we can be doing alongside our core deliverables. So why is social value important to Wates? I've had this question asked of us. We're a main contractor, but actually I think it's really important that we understand the why behind it. And I think it's okay to understand that while this is important from a social, environmental, economic perspective, it's important from a commercial business perspective. In order for Wates, we're a family-owned company, for us to remain sustainable in all senses of the word, to be able to hand on our company to the future generations, we need to make sure that we are a trusted partner. As Sophia said earlier, trust has never been more important, and we need to make sure that we are genuinely embedding social value into what we're trying to achieve, so that we demonstrate that to our customers. So we can build strong partnerships with people when we engage on this agenda. We can build strong partnerships with the communities where our work is going to impact and make sure that we genuinely understand what it is that they need from us, more than just the end deliverable. And we can also have an opportunity to build our brand and to understand, to make sure that we are in a position of trust, in a way that we can differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, and also encourage a more diverse supply chain, but also a more diverse and engaged talent pool coming into our business. All these things help to build a more sustainable business, as well as create more sustainable communities. So specifically, some of the things that we engage in are programs like Building Futures. Wates have been running this program, which is a 2-week pre-employment program for unemployed adults, since 2006. And we've seen over 1,500 people come through this program. We give people an opportunity to upskill, to improve their CV, which in some cases can be very minimal, and actually this course can make a real difference to them. We put them through their CSCS test, and critically we give them the opportunities to think about their CV, to think about their employability skills, and to have an interview with our supply chain. We're really keen to help support people to transition into further education or employment following the programme. And in terms of impact, when we think about this type of programme, we've done some research that suggests that for every £1 we invest in this programme, there's a £1.83 social return on that investment. And we also look at the impact in terms of those outcomes, and have seen 70% of people move into positive outcomes. Our Build Yourself programme is an education engagement programme where we're working with young people. And the focus of this programme is to try and achieve a more diverse talent pipeline and to try and challenge some of the misconceptions around our sector. We want young people to be excited about this as a sector to work in, and we want them to think of it as a sector that's for them, whether they be interested in the hands-on trades, whether they be interested in design, whether they be lower or higher academic ability. We want everybody to consider the construction sector as a sector that has huge opportunities for young people, and very much a career of choice for young people to consider. So with this programme, we're delighted that on our summer camp we've seen various elements, mentoring, masterclasses where we go into schools and deliver workshops, working with a delivery partner on this as well. We bring young people into our offices and onto our sites. We have an internship summer programme. We also run a summer camp where we see young people have an immersive residential experience. And we saw last year in our camps that 29% of those young people came from the 20% most deprived neighbourhoods in the UK. So we look at the impact of this in terms of, are we really reaching those young people that we're trying to reach? We have a corporate charity partnership, and for this one we focused on TCV, the conservation volunteers, to get a mixture of well-being and conservation. We've been partnering them since last year, and we have created opportunities for employee volunteering, some of the more traditional fundraising events. Those events then support the likes of tree planting and community engagement. And we're looking at planting 15,000 trees over the next 3 years, and also to fundraise £50,000 this year as part of that partnership. And a key part of our agenda on social value is actually how we make our procurement spend go further. So I don't know if many of you are familiar with social enterprises, but these are commercial organisations that reinvest a proportion of their profits into a social and environmental purpose. And I believe that by using procurement spend to engage with these organisations, we have a very simple methodology to actually improve the impact of our organisations. So our approach is fourfold. We have a champions network across the business. So we have over 50 employees who, over and above their day jobs, promote trade with these sorts of organisations. We've worked with Social Enterprise UK to identify organisations that are defined as social enterprises and to enable our people to know where they are. One of the key things, I believe, is in collaboration and is working across sector. So we're trying to lead the sector in working together to make sure that we can achieve more collectively than we can individually. And so we've run Meet the Buyer events collectively as a sector, and we're looking at how we can do more of that. And we're a Bisocial Corporate Challenge founding partner, which is a challenge that's set up by Social Enterprise UK with the Cabinet Office that looks at a number of corporates trying to collectively achieve a spend of £1 billion with the sector, and importantly to really drive impact through buying through social enterprises. So in terms of Wates, our performance is going pretty well. We've spent over 17 million to date, and last year alone we spent £5.5 million. And I would really encourage any of your organisations, whether large or small. We started the journey back in 2007 with a £99 spend on a hotel room. Last year we spent £5.5 million. I think this is a way that we can really make our spend go further. And whether you can maybe swap one thing or two things, think about the categories of spend. Social enterprises exist in all sorts of areas across categories of spend, so we can really make a difference through just thinking about how you can maybe switch one or two products. We did some research with the New Economics Foundation that found for every £1 that we spend with social enterprises, there's a £1.77 social return on investment. And this is because the organisations, social enterprises, are often employing people that are furthest from the labour market, or they might be working with supported people to provide an opportunity back into work, perhaps following health issues, or people who've experienced mental health challenges and need a supported re-entry to the work market. The other big group that's supported is ex-offenders, and we can see that where people are supported with employment, they can often be transitioned from the justice system into work, and that is a great story for UK as a whole. We can really turn lives around, and we can also see a financial benefit of that as well. There's also a huge opportunity in terms of diversity. So quite a challenge for our sector, whereas social enterprises offer a real opportunity for us to diversify our supply chain and make a real difference. We see more diverse leadership represented in social enterprises. So it's another way that we can challenge different agendas. And in terms of measuring impact, as Guy said, we're working with Social Value Portal to try and do that. We also use qualitative case studies. I don't think those will ever be replaced. I think we need to understand the quantitative and qualitative approach in terms of measuring impact. We can look at it in terms of jobs and trying to standardise how we do that. It remains an ongoing challenge, but I think it's really important that we're trying to journey towards doing that more consistently.